Okay, I'll start over. All right, so hi everybody, I'm Josh. My Stackathon project was an online multiplayer game called Lumberjacks Capture the Seed. It's online multiplayer for 4 players in teams of 2, and your teams are rival groups of lumberjacks who have harvested all but the last trees in a forest. But there's something special about those trees. In the middle of the forest, there's a golden seed which has the power to accelerate or regenerate the growth of anything in its surroundings. Each team wants the seed for themselves to regrow their side of the forest. So you have to work with your teammate to pass the seed back and forth and try to keep it in your woods long enough to regrow your side of the forest. Be careful though, the seed is heavy, and when you're holding it, you get a reduction to your speed, and if someone catches up to you, they can take the seed from you. The first one with full-grown trees wins. So I'll show you the local version of my game here. It's meant for 4 players, so when you log on, it says waiting for more players, but I've disabled the actual thing that makes it wait for players so that I can show you the local version. So when you log on, you're presented with a map here. Each person is one of the characters. You can run around, grab the seed. You can throw the seed. The point of the game is to get the seed into your side of the woods here. So that's the other person's side. So you want the seed in your side of the woods, and once you have it in there, if you have it in there long enough, your trees will start to regenerate. And the point of the game is to hold it until they become full-grown trees, and then one team wins. That's kind of the gist of the game. We can click to go back in here. But for this game, I used Phaser.io as a game engine, Socket.io for the multiplayer aspect, and a program called Tiled, which allows for creating tile maps out of sprite sheets and saving them in a convenient JSON format that's importable by Phaser. So this JSON format allows tiles with specific IDs to be marked as collision tiles, as well as enabling the score zone and tile transformations. So it should give you an idea of what tile looks like. This is the map that I created in the tiled application. I use this open source sprite sheet that I found on the internet, and was able to make these layers of tiles. I can turn the layers on and off, and you'll see that this is basically the visible layer. There's also a meta layer, which has the lava tiles are impassable. The seed will bounce off these. You also can't run through these. There's also an objects layer, which gives the start point for all 4 of the players, and just kind of some more meta information about those areas. So that's the tiled program. I'm able to export this into JSON format, like I said, just to give you a quick view of what that looks like. Let's open up the code here. I'm going to try to. Just give you a quick look at the JSON here. So it's basically just literally a map of IDs. And when Phaser loads this up, we also load in the tile map, and it picks out this index of tile and puts it where it's supposed to be. It was really handy because then I can access these by the index inside of the game and do things like updating the tiles, which was especially handy for changing the sprites when the score goes up. Since the game is multiplayer, I had to think pretty closely about how to manage state between the clients with Socket.io and Phaser. The game state is managed by the server authoritatively and includes things like the positions of all the players, the location, velocity, and ownership of the seed, and obviously the score. And also things like if a player recently threw the seed or recently had it stolen from them. But this is necessary to prevent issues like having a seed that was recently thrown immediately picked back up if you were running in the direction that you threw the seed. With all the state being sent from back and forth to the server and broadcast to the clients, there quickly became issues with latency even over the local server. So to get around this, I had to sort of optimize the socket emissions intelligently to only send state if it was necessary, basically to not send a position if you weren't moving, and only to send what was needed. This is still an ongoing process, and I'm currently working on implementing an update loop for socket emissions that only sends updates about 10 times per second, which should help considerably with the latency issues. But yeah, that's my game. So just to give you another quick overview of it. Let's see here. It's pretty simple. Like I said, it's meant for teams of 4, but if one person has the seed, the other person can grab it from them. You notice you slow down just a little bit when you grab the seed, and you can toss it. It's really fun to play. I've only played it over the local host since I haven't gotten it up on Heroku yet, but yeah, it's a really fun competitive little game, and that was my Stackathon.